All right, good evening. We'll call the meeting to order, please, with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everyone. Roll call, Mr. Lundberg.
Holm.
Yes.
Odie. Yes. Saxer.
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Bell.
Yes. Welcome.
All right. Didn't I already do that? I did it out of order. Welcome to everyone that's here tonight. All right, swearing in an oath of office, Mr. Lundberg.
Okay, Ellie, you hear me okay?
Yep, I gotcha.
Okay, I'll go through the oath of office here and just I do at the end there. Do you, Ellie Saxer, having been elected with no opposition to the office of school board member for the Brandon Valley School District, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of South Dakota, and that you will faithfully and impartially, to the best of your ability, perform all duties of the office of school board member? I'm looking for an I do now. Perfect. Congratulations, Ellie.
All right, very good. Moving on to the election of board officers. At this time, I would entertain a nomination for board president.
I nominate Renee Olaf.
Second.
No second. I have a nomination for a board president. Are there any other nominations for board president?
Seats.
Okay, hearing no other nominations, I would entertain a motion that nominations cease and we cast a unanimous ballot for Renee Ullum as board president.
Motion cease.
Motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor of said motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Congratulations, Renee. You can take over for the vice.
Well, thank you. All right, at this time, I would entertain a nomination for vice president.
I nominate Greg Odie.
You have a nomination for Greg Odie?
All right. Anyone else? Hearing no other nominations, I would entertain a motion that nominations cease and we cast unanimous ballot for Greg Odie as board vice president.
Motion cease. Second.
There's been a first and a second. All those in favor of Greg Odie for vice president, say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. Congratulations, Mr. Odie. All right. Next, approval of the agenda. If there are no changes that need to be made, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented, please.
So moved. Second.
There's been a first and a second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. No conflict of interest disclosure or waiver requests this evening that I'm aware of. That takes us to item number 1, adoption of our regular procedures for 2023-2024 Board of Education meetings. I would entertain a motion to approve items 1 through 14 as presented, please.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Next item, approval of the minutes. I have 2 regular meetings from June 12th and June 26th. I would entertain a motion to approve those as presented, please.
So moved.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. All of those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. No community input this evening. Takes us to our financial items. Mr. Lundberg.
Okay, the bills and claims were in your packet. If you had any specific questions, I'd entertain answering them. Otherwise, I just had a couple that I noted. On page 3, Gilhaugen Construction Payment Number 14, $376,500. On page 5 are property and liability insurance with McKinney Olson Insurance, $339,487 for the year. On page 6, in conjunction with that, our work comp payment to First Dakota Indemnity of $139,052. Basically all of our annual property and casualty insurances. A lot of typical at the beginning of the year bills. There's a total of $3.6 million on page 8. Of that, $1.2 million is payments to U.S. Bank for our semi-annual bond payments to the various bonds that we have out there that are listed. We had pay vouchers of just under $20,000, $19,666, and food service bills of $31,940.
Any questions for Mr. Lundberg this evening on the bills and claims? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the bills and claims as presented, please.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Financial report, Mr. Lundberg.
Okay, the cash report for the month of June showed $16.6 million coming into the month, $5.2 million of receipts, and $5.6 million of disbursements, left $16,296,000 of cash at the end of our fiscal year, June 30th. $9.88 million of that was in the general fund, $3.1 million in the capital outlay fund, $1.8 million in the special education fund, and $1,372,000 in the bond redemption fund. The $5.2 million of receipts is itemized on the next 2 pages. Majority of it is tax draw. Investment report, $2,057,000 invested in a couple of banks there. Payroll and benefit summary for the month of June, $2,548,000 was the total payroll in the month of June. The financial statements, we've covered all of those in the budget presentation, so I won't spend any time on those. The last statement is the trust and agency statement, which shows $178,715 of amounts held for others.
Thank you. Any questions on the financial report tonight? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the financial report as presented, please.
So moved. Second.
There's been a first and a second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Lundberg. General business, administration reports, Administrative Center, Superintendent Larson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. A few items to update the board on here this evening. We continue to monitor the Navigator CO2 pipeline process. Our strategic plan will be reviewed, evaluated and revised, and we will work through that process here during the 23-24 school year. At our meeting in August, I'll provide an overview of what that year looks like, those respective meeting dates, focus group meetings, et cetera. And then we can discuss further. I just want to note the summer reading program is still in swing, and we would encourage all of our kiddos to get into Siouxland Library and participate in that program. In addition to the Siouxland Library prizes and whatnot to incentivize our kiddos, Pizza Ranch of Brandon also provides completers with a little award or a little thank you as well. So I would certainly encourage our kiddos to be active readers and avoid that summer slide. Bus pass purchase and ridership notification here for this fall. Bus passes became available for sale on July 5th. They will be on sale through the 28th of July, and that is the deadline to purchase or to notify transportation of ridership in order to be on at the start of the school year. If you miss the deadline, October 2nd is the earliest that you are able to ride. So we are in the process of communicating that in a multitude of ways. We'll be filling up your email inbox and your voicemail inbox here over the course of the next couple of weeks as we near that deadline. But just please note that bus passes and ridership notification is open and available. Next year's academic calendar, our new staff come in on August 15th, and then we begin with all staff the 17th, the 21st, and the 22nd. School begins on August 23rd for all children grades 1 through 12 in the Brandon Valley School District. And then school begins for all of our junior kindergarten and kindergartners on August 25th. They spend those first few days having their individual classroom session time with their new teacher and their families, and then they begin on the 25th. The first day for early childhood is on Monday, August 28th. Our East Side Elementary School construction timeline, just want to keep that top of mind. Still looking at bidding that project in November or December. We will be meeting with our Buildings and Grounds Committee prior to our next board meeting in August and be showing them the floor plan and the site plan. And then we'll begin that process of incorporating our respective departments, buildings, et cetera, through that review and revision process prior to obviously finalizing those plans. Construction begins in the spring of 2024. We'll be under construction the entirety of the 24-25 school year, and then we anticipate having it open in the fall of 2025. Would note that as previously communicated at this time, we anticipate utilizing capital outlay certificates, so there will be no additional tax burden placed on our patrons for the construction of that project. High school addition, as Mr. Lundberg noted, it is nearing completion. Would let you know that our Area C and corridor walkthrough is scheduled for this week, and then we will spend the remaining portion of July wrapping up any of those loose ends, punch list items, etc. And then the science, chemistry lab, as well as the older restrooms that were on the first floor and the second floor, those renovations are ongoing, and they are not scheduled to be completed until August 15th. So really pushing past the finish line, and prior to the start of the school year, there's work to do, but we have the time to get her accomplished. I would note for the Board of Education at this time, we are planning an open house on August 18th, and then that will incorporate a small program in the Commons, and then we'll just do a little building tour, and then a ribbon cutting to follow. So tentatively plan on that. I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, it was 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock. So a 4 o'clock presentation in the Brandon Valley High School Commons will go over a little bit of what the project was, the funding mechanism of that project, et cetera. And then we will, following that, we'll just take a 20 or 30 minute walk through the new facility, and then we'll conduct our ribbon cutting following that. So we'll get that advertised and out there as well, but just want to make certain that the board gets that on their calendars. It is Friday, August 18th. Obviously, no change to any of our respective priorities, et cetera. We'll run through just a couple of images. So this is exterior A. This is where obviously the new addition joins the library. So the backfill, the sidewalk, all of those items have been completed there. This is a shot of area A through C exterior. The asphalt is all poured, and the parking spaces have been striped. This is area C. This is the eyebrow construction. I'm sorry to report, I think this gentleman was in the same exact spot on Friday, working on the eyebrow as he was today when I came into the office. So they're working on the eyebrow in Area C. This is Area A, so this is the corridor into the existing building. You can see the walk-off carpet there. That is the library door. So that is an important thing to note, that that is an exterior, that is a door for the library that's required for them to have access out to an exit because of the size of the library. So that's what that is. And then obviously we have the firewall or the fire doors here. This is the space that used to be classroom 115, and we had to take out to create the corridor. And then those are restrooms right here to the right of that. That's a new set of restrooms that are going in or are in within that corridor. This is the Area A and B entrance. So this would be the entrance that most typically our buses drop off in the morning. They're on the east side respectively. So for a point of reference, you would be looking east. The ramped hallway is here on your left, right over here, and then our new corridor is right there on your left as well. And then this to the right is that Area A corridor. This is Area B. This is our ramped hallway, respectively. So it received carpet here as of late. All of the ceiling tiles in, they just got a drop ceiling tile. This is Area B, so this is our new corridor. So this was the existing building to the left. You can see that exterior brick and those exterior windows. This is the new corridor. This corridor received that epoxy coating. And then I would remind you that the Area A corridor is receiving the sports surfacing for the use for like speed workouts, et cetera, which was paid for by the Booster Club, the sports flooring was. Area C, so Area C, all of our classrooms are carpeted out. The casework has been installed, etc. Again, ceiling tile needs to go in. Our furniture is scheduled for next week, I believe. And then in addition to that, there in the later parts of July, very beginning of August is when they'll start to put all of our tech in, dropping in our smart TVs and those respective items. My picture didn't show up quite as well as I wanted it to, but this is an Area C. This is actually our special education classroom. So this is a large life skills special education classroom, which was a priority of ours. Both of the special education classroom doors that are designated have handicap accessible openers on them because that was certainly a priority of ours. So excited to showcase our special ed life skills classroom. It receives the full kitchen as well as the full restroom with a shower. So it's a huge space and going to be a very nice addition. This is Area D, so this is our chemistry lab. They got it all demoed out, and then now they're obviously in this image installing casework, ceiling tile, etc. Nope, that's on the first floor. That was Mr. Stathem's classroom, Mr. Stathem's chemistry lab. This is the Area D second floor restroom renovation. Would just note that these were prior to, they were not ADA accessible. They were old and dated and didn't work, so we just created them into single stall, family style, respective restrooms. Both first floor as well as the second floor. Here's a shot of our first floor restroom that's being renovated. And again, the chemistry lab, The restrooms are scheduled for the August 15th completion date. With that, would certainly entertain any questions you have at this time.
The auto open doors on the special, are those work both ways, inside and outside? So you come in from the outside, you can press the button and the door opens?
Yep.
If there's a lockdown, they lock though? Okay.
That is a procedure that will probably require a manual key lock,
Okay.
as opposed to, they would have the ability to unlock, kids can get in and then lock. The door would still open, they would be able to get out, but you would, is that correct? Did I hit that right? Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you very much, Superintendent Larson. Mr. Lundberg, anything additional tonight? All right. High school, Mr. Schleckaway? Mrs. Moore, Mr. Paula? Middle school? Intermediate school? Special services? Any of the elementaries? Anyone? Director of instruction? Or Mr. Henschel, anything tonight? Okay. And activity structure? None. All right. Board policy, there is none for our review tonight. That takes us to our general business items. I would entertain a motion to approve items 1 through 21 as presented, please.
So moved?
There's been a first and a second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Personnel, I would entertain a motion to approve items 1 through 15 as presented.
So moved.
There's been a first and a second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. 16 through 19 are transfers and for information only. There are some building permit applications for your review if you choose, and a thank you note if you choose to review that. Otherwise, that takes us to our formal board reports. Does anyone have a formal board report they'd like to share tonight? I will share, I am part of the Child Nutrition and Wellness Committee, and I was able to attend the national conference in Denver with Director Cruz. Learned all sorts of new things about food again. Went to the overwhelming vendor, it's unbelievable, vendor presentations and the amount of food and what they would like to sell you and all the different things they have for you, so. And I only walked away with one thing, so I was very proud of myself. Chocolate hummus, and that's what I took from the little chickpea stand, so that's what I was looking for, and that's what I was there. Interesting presentations, a lot about marketing, a lot about how to incorporate farm to table, which we've already, which I just felt personally we were ahead of the game on a lot of the things going on at the national conference, but it's an interesting conference, and I always enjoy being asked and being able to go to that. So thank you to Director Cruz for asking me and letting me go. Anyone else have anything tonight? Teach Well meeting tomorrow night?
We're about a month out from the ASDST conference, so if that is something you're interested in going, please let Jennifer know.
All right, thank you, Ellie. Teach Well meeting tomorrow night, and we'll have our organizational meeting then. Otherwise, if there's nothing else, that takes us to the end of our scheduled agenda. I would entertain a motion to adjourn. There's been a first and a second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming.